All right,
Good,
perfect.
good afternoon. Thank you. We are going to get started. We are participating here today on a special meeting. This is the Tennessee Athletic Commission. Today is Tuesday, October the 15th. It is 2:05 in the afternoon. And first order of business that I'd like to do before we get started is take roll call vote. I am Roxana Gamusio. I'm the executive director with the Tennessee Athletic Commission. Members, those participating virtually, if you could please go ahead and unmute yourself to make sure that we have quorum, and then I will turn the meeting over shortly to our attorney, Jesse Gentry. Mr. Ricky Goodrich is not on the call yet. If he joins us later, we'll make sure to count him in. Ben Grove.
Here.
Thank you. Dan McGrew.
Here.
Thank you. And Corey Cipolla.
Here.
Thank you. The next item of business is this meeting was noticed on the Athletic Commission's website. The agenda is also posted there for anyone that wishes to see it. This recording will be added for a future date as well. With us is legal counsel Jesse Gentry. And Jesse, I'll turn it over to you for the statement of necessity, please.
All right, perfect. This is the statement of necessity for the October 15th, 2024 special meeting of the Tennessee Athletic Commission. According to TCA 8-44-108B2, if a physical quorum is not present at the location of a meeting of a governing body, the governing body must file such determination of necessity, including the recitation of the facts and circumstances on which it was based, with the Office of the Secretary of State no later than 2 working days after the meeting. Furthermore, TCA 8-44-108A2 defines necessity as matters to be considered by the governing body at the meeting that require timely action by the body, and that physical presence of a quorum of the members is not practical within the period of time requiring action, and that participation by a quorum of the members by electronic or other means of communication is necessary. This is a special set meeting for the Tennessee Athletic Commission by Microsoft Teams to discuss items on the agenda posted to the Commission's website. Specifically, this meeting is to consider a waiver request pursuant to Tennessee Compilation of Rules and Regs 0145-03-.01 to allow a mixed martial arts contest to follow the Association of Boxing Commission's unified rules for mixed martial arts. Based on the Commission's laws and rules, the consideration of a waiver of certain procedures for professional mixed martial arts in this special set meeting is necessary to allow the Commission to make a determination on the promoter's upcoming event that is scheduled prior to the Commission's next scheduled meeting on December 9th, 2024. Consideration of this waiver request in an expedited manner is necessary to ensure the Commission can make a determination that protects all participants and other affected individuals in the promoter's contest set to take place on November 9th, 2024. As the ABC's unified rules follow 2 different considerations for fouls than the Tennessee Athletic Commission's current rule set, including strikes to a grounded opponent and the 12-6 elbow strike, holding this expedited special meeting is necessary to ensure combatants, ring officials, and all affected individuals are on notice of the rules for the upcoming contest. Meeting remotely is considered a reasonable measure to protect the safety and welfare of the participants in this contest, as well as all Tennesseans, while ensuring government business may continue in a manner that is open and accessible to the public. This meeting remains open to the public by electronic means, and all Commission members shall identify themselves when speaking. All votes by the Commission will be by roll call. There will be a period for public comment following the Commission's review of the waiver request, and comments may be made verbally or written in the chat for this meeting. So essentially, what we're here to discuss today, we have Attitude MMA has scheduled a mixed martial arts contest for November 9th. And a couple of weeks ago, Roxana Gamusio and I were discussing whether or not this promotion was going to use the new unified rules of MMA from the ABC's last conference, in which they allowed strikes to a grounded opponent. They allowed knee strikes to a grounded opponent, as well as the 12-6 elbow. Based on the ABC's unified rules, they requested that those not be implemented until November of 2024. So when we started looking at it and said this contest is scheduled after that November 1st date, we probably should ask them if they're planning on using the previous rule set or the new unified rule set. And when we followed up with them, they had requested the new unified rule set. So based on that, we thought it would be best to bring this to the Commission to discuss whether or not those rules should be waived to allow the unified rules of MMA to apply as it relates to fouls. And specifically, the only difference would be those two, the 12-6 elbow not being a foul, and then knees to the head of a grounded opponent, as the definition of a grounded opponent has changed under the unified rules. And essentially, we do believe that consideration of this being done timely would protect all individuals, so we can let them know that we would use the unified rules. They can tell all combatants that they'll use the unified rules, and everyone is on notice of the specific fouls and strikes that are allowed for this contest. So if there's any discussion on this waiver request, we can discuss it, or if you all are comfortable waiving our current fouls to allow the unified rules take those place, you all can make a motion and then vote on that by roll.
I thought we had a good discussion on it at the last meeting, and I mean, as long as everybody else is on board, I'm okay with making a motion to approve it.
Thank you. Ben, go ahead. Ben Grove made a motion to approve the recommendation for this waiver as presented by Jesse Gentry. Do we have a second to support that motion?
Yeah, this is Corey. I second it.
Thank you. So we have a motion by Ben Grove, a second by Corey Spola. By roll call vote, I'll need to read each of your three names again on the record. And then if there's any other conversation, we can obviously still continue to have that. Ben Grove.
Aye.
Thank you. Dan McGrew.
Aye.
Thank you. And Corey Cipolla.
Aye.
Thank you. Jesse, you have quorum and all in agreement to move forward with that motion. I will turn it back over to you.
And just one last thing before we close. Executive Director Gamusio and I discussed this previously, but since you all had authorized a rulemaking to amend our rules to reflect the changes to the unified rules, but just based on the time frame for getting that implemented, by the time it goes through all the approvals and the rulemaking hearing, the unified rules are going to take effect in most jurisdictions, or some jurisdictions, I should say, next month. Other jurisdictions like us will go through the rulemaking process. We do have this waiver procedure. We could consider it on a case-by-case basis. However, potentially, so we don't have to come back every single time, I would like for the commission to consider whether or not you all would delegate authority to Executive Director Gamusio to, review waiver requests for MMA contests if they want to use the unified rule set. No other waivers, just if they want to waive the current files that we have to use the unified rules for MMA. That way we don't have to have a waiver meeting for every single one of those. Obviously, if they have other things they want to waive, the commission would consider that on a case-by-case basis. But we would like for the commission to consider that. We don't know if this is going to happen frequently or not, but it would allow some flexibility and potentially more efficient consideration of rule sets.
Members, we would need a motion and a second if in agreement to allow Jesse and I to discuss these and not have to present the waiver every time, but rather what you've approved today would be approved for future MMA fights that want to have our specific rules waived.
Well, I'll make that motion.
I have a question. How often do you think that this would happen?
I think I can answer that.
A waiver.
Right. It'll be our process is going to be when we approve an MMA event, I'm going to have the conversation with the promoters just to go over that, to make sure that they're aware of the changes in the unified rules and to see what they are planning to follow, ours or the rules that in the near future we hope to have official in ours. So it'll depend on how many MMA events we have.
Well, the new rules
in my
will
opinion,
go into effect. I was going to say the new rules will go into effect for 2025. In 2025, is that correct?
It would likely be in 2025, potentially, by the summer of 2025. It'll just depend on how fast, we have approvals by the governor's office, the attorney general's office, and everyone else that needs to review them.
And I
Okay,
think the issue is that there could be 10 events by then. So we would have to have 10 different meetings just to approve something that we've already approved.
Correct.
So it would just be sort of streamlining it so that we don't have to reapprove a waiver that we've already approved for anybody to use.
Correct.
And it is possible, that some of these could line up with our already scheduled meetings. So, that
Mhm.
could cut some of them off, but, we meet typically every couple months, and, if we have someone submits the application for it, we ask them immediately. We want to make sure that we can give them a timely answer, so that way they're not waiting a month or 2 months to know, if I'm a grounded opponent, can I, worry about those strikes, or am I going to, be able to put my hand down? If we can let them know pretty quickly. And again, that would be the only thing that we would be asking authorization to waive. Anything else would have to come back to the commission.
Thank you, Jesse. I believe we had a motion by Ben Grove to go ahead and approve us going forward with this waiver without having to have a meeting, as long as it's only about this. Do we have a second on that motion?
I second.
This is Corey.
Thank you. We have a motion. It's hard to do it virtually, but I think we're getting there. A motion by Ben, a second by Dan McGrew. By roll call vote to approve, giving us the permission to continue this waiver should we need it until our rules are enforced. Ben Grove.
Aye.
Thank you. Dan McGrew.
Aye.
Thank you. And Corey Cipolla.
Aye.
Thank you. Jesse, I believe this also passes unanimously, sir.
Yep,
Do we
thank
have
you.
anything else that we need to take care of? No? Members, anything else before we adjourn our special meeting? Okay. Hearing nothing, I will go ahead and shortly adjourn us. It is 2:17. Really appreciate everybody getting on this call and taking care of this so that the promoters can proceed with their event and follow the new unified rules. So we will go ahead and adjourn and see you all at our next regularly scheduled meeting. Thank you.
Sounds good. Have a good day, y'all.
You too.
Thank you.